The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Pollard. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, it's caught at the 10. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now it's Carson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Myers' kick is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Here we go, here we go. 12.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now it's Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Jason Verrett, he'll get the sack as he provides the heat off the corner. Throwing is Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. There's Garoppolo to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Lockett. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
They'll run with Pollard. And he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tony Pollard, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
12, 2, 2.
Looking to throw on second down. Garoppolo, deep ball for Goodwin. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
After 1, 17-7 the score on EA Sports.
Let's go, D.
Here's Pollard. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Hey, watch it. Check. No pass.
Trying to run forward with Pollard. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Got it.
On second down, it's Pollard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. D. Ford in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Good job right there. Check Mike, 27.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Here we go. 180. Check mine. 11.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. The 40, 30, past the 20. A big play there for the Niners. And even 70 yards on the pickup.
Here we go. 11.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run with Coleman on first down. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. He's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down. They'll come out in the pistol. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line. Got it. Switch.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. On second down, Pollard. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On second down now, Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third.
Watch. Go. Mike's 50. Come on. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now Wilson on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson now throwing again. And an alley to run.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
11 more yards. That's another Seahawks.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Myers able to knock it through. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Pollard again. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Now Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, Benjamin's got it. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, and it's Pollard again. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Run for Pollard. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. On 1st down, Wilson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 2nd down, Pollard. And some room to run now. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And this one is right down the middle. And that'll bring him back within a point. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second and 5 now. Garoppolo, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Going to run again here with Pollard. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Carson. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told him, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Hey, box drop.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down now, Pollard. He'll have a first down past the 30. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another second down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays second down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
Now a give here to Pollard. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On second down, it's Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike's 50. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. I'm coming for you. You mine. Mike 50. Mike.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check 26, check 26.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Touch 50, touch 50.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the 49ers, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this, as they're not back in action until week 11. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.